tell you the truth, I'm not sure I wanted to know the answers anymore.
From a newcomer's perspective, the trailers for Bandai Namco's long-running Ace Combat series seem to construct an image of sweeping drama in the skies set against a massive military campaign that overindulges in high-tech battles. Ultimately, Ace Combat 7: Skies Unknown delivers something less fantastical and far more rooted in reality than expected. What it actually offers includes some seriously intense air combat scenarios, beautiful visuals that really sell the look of the aircraft and the world, and one really bizarre story that feels out of place.
Breaking news from ENN. Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II.
Ace Combat 7 is set in the same established universe as Ace Combat 4: Shattered Skies, Ace Combat 5: The Unsung War, and Ace Combat 0: The Balkan War. So veterans will hear and see familiar names, but the storyline itself, set after all of these previous events, is a self-contained plot that doesn't require any understanding of the older entries to appreciate.
It took 6 years and 8 months to get that engine running. And it took us another 1.5 years after that to finally get the balance of the airframe just right.
Unfortunately, the delivery and structure of the Skies Unknown story is flawed. There's a heavy focus on characters who receive entire scenes worth of development that have no bearing on the central plot until much later on. Though these sequences eventually serve a purpose, the payoff isn't worth how distracting these scenes are during a good portion of the game.
So, I tried to escape. They found out and set the dogs on me.
The premise is sound enough, but the narrative comes off dull and boring. It's very procedural, and even when there's something eventful transpiring on screen, it's never backed by believable emotion. It's hard to get invested in the cast as most of their development happens via banter during missions, when it can be difficult to juggle the action going on around you and still maintain focus on the dialogue. It also feels like the best narrative developments are withheld until the last few missions of the game. While they're exhilarating sequences, it's simply too little, too late.
Right after takeoff, as the wheels retracted, the plane suddenly arced up. It accelerated so quickly. I had never seen a plane move like that before.
Though the narrative is certainly a letdown, Skies Unknown excels in just about every other department. The campaign is broken up into 20 missions that put you through the paces as you tackle increasingly more elaborate and intense battles. There are times when the best way to tackle objectives isn't always clear, but the game provides ample clues during various exchanges over the comm channels in each mission.
Son of a bitch. We left him to die.
Just save who you can.
Although, as with the story, one of the biggest issues is that it can be hard to focus on dialogue to listen for these clues in the heat of battle, especially as a newcomer.
We don't know when they'll launch. We'll be on time.
There are difficulty settings and other options that make a game a bit more accessible for rookies, but the real problem is the game's sometimes limited checkpoint system. When a single objective can take up to 20 minutes to complete, it can be infuriating to nearly accomplish your task, only to be sent back to the start each time you fail.
Warning, enemy has a bead on you.
Some of the mission objectives are pretty awesome, whether it's intense dogfighting, painting the earth at a breakneck speed as you engage surface targets, or navigating through a narrow canyon while avoiding being detected. It can be overwhelming at times, but these missions always deliver breathtaking action and mesmerizing vistas.
This is the last step, Count. We'll take the enemy base and use it as a bridgehead. Watch yourselves out there.
What brings it all together is the phenomenal handling of each aircraft. No matter which control setting you select, flying around in these magnificent vehicles is something really special. The cockpit views are astounding, and just looking around at all the panels and gadgets really sells the immersion. At the same time, the view from the exterior is just as awesome, and seeing these aircraft fly through the gorgeous environments never gets dull.
All aircraft remain on high alert. We got bandits incoming on radar.
The weather effects are also a sight to behold, as wind, rain, and dust storms will impact your visibility and performance. In particular, the effect of being struck by lightning is flabbergasting, creating a sensory overload followed by glitching HUD elements and a general sense of unease. The struggle against the elements adds a unique layer to the experience and an interesting sense of realism.
60 seconds remain.
As for the selection of planes, you have to unlock new vehicles and upgrades through an aircraft tree system. There are several paths you can take, but each plane is based on a real-life aircraft and comes with unique handling and special focuses, like being better at taking on ground-based targets as opposed to air-based opponents. Selecting the right plane for the mission at hand, as well as the right loadout, will greatly impact your chances of success. In addition to the single-player campaign, there's also an online multiplayer component. Players can create or join lobbies of up to 8 players to engage in a battle royale or in team-based death matches consisting of squads of 2, 3, or 4 players going head-to-head. There are options to customize the rules to favor different skill levels and handicaps, as well as the types of planes and upgrades allowed. The only drawback to the system is that it only includes lobbies, with no random matchmaking system present, so you can expect to wait a bit longer to get into a match. When matched with more skilled opponents and no handicaps, it can be rough, but when you're in a group of similarly skilled players, the multiplayer sessions offer some of the most intense flying in the game. One match had us weaving between sea stacks at dangerous speeds without a moment's respite, as we were continuously pursued by 3 opposing team members the entire time. Despite not firing off a single shot and merely flying for dear life, the evasive maneuvering never failed to deliver on the thrills.
Friendly paused. 4 remaining.
Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown is a solid return for the long-running series. Sure, the story has its weak points, but it honestly plays second fiddle to the impressive aerial combat. The unique handling of each aircraft and the excellent mission scenarios deliver on the goods, and it's further enhanced by stunning visuals, effects, and masterful sound design. There's still room to improve, but Skies Unknown definitely hits its mark.
Our objective isn't wiping out enemy forces. Defending Zone A.
Easy Allies reviews are made possible by generous viewers just like you. If you like what you see, check out patreon.com/easyallies to help us make more. For just $1 a month, you can gain access to weekly updates, spoiler discussions, and exclusive shows.
Utilizing the Arsenal bird. Those bastards. They had that thing combat ready this whole time.
Enemy has a radar lock.
Skykeeper, this is Scout 1. What do we do about that monster?
We're just waiting for mission command.